You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast on the We Are Libertarians Network. I'm your host, Jeremiah Morrell. As always, I'm joined by our co-host, Dakota Davis. Our show is about lives in rural Indiana. It's a show about folks who are involved in politics. We promise our episodes are going to be fun, easy to listen to, and we'll interview all kinds of influential people across our area. This is episode number 20. As I said, we are joined by Dakota Davis. Our new regular co-host, Mr. Clay Morgan. Welcome, Clay.
Glad to be here.
Welcome, Dakota.
Here again.
Familiar voices all. And in the fourth chair, our featured guest is Mark Brim.
Thank you for starting late on my behalf. I feel incredibly important.
Who the hell is Mark Brim?
Yeah, who am I?
Yeah.
I never. This is the first time I've been in your town in like 3 months.
In 3 months. Welcome to Henry County. Mark is, I don't know how to describe Mark. Mark's a longtime friend of mine. He has run for office as a Libertarian. Back in 2012, you ran for state representative over in Wayne County and portions of Henry County. I think it was redrawn, so it was just Wayne County at the time.
Just Wayne, yeah.
And then did you run again in 2010 as well? Have you run a couple of times?
Running is generous. I walked. 12 and 14.
The name was on the ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a little, bit.
So you worked at it.
I worked at it. I think the public access.
Yeah, we did TV. We did
TV.
What's the TV station in Richmond?
WCTV.
WCTV on Whitewater Broadcasting or something along those lines.
Broadcasting. So.
WCTV.
It's a real studio, Clay. I don't know if you had a chance to do that yet or not.
I have not.
In your races, but we went in and it was a real TV studio, student run. I don't know if it's student run or it's on campus at least at IU East.
Yeah, I don't think it's student run, but it's on campus.
No, they all look to have beards and be professional.
Yeah.
They could grow much more facial hair than I have ever had.
I think that was the extent of my running, though. I went on there once. I think I talked to some
We
people.
went on there once. You and I, this is bringing back a memory, just sitting here with you. You and I did a Farm Bureau event. We sat in the front row. You had a fantastic performance.
Oh, right.
And I broke a chair.
I remember. Well, the chair
You broke a chair?
Oh, the chair broke, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
while you were in it?
Chair.
While I was
Did it
in it,
collapse?
yeah. It was
Just
terrifying.
boom.
Yeah.
Was it like
Wow.
as soon as you sat down, or you'd been sitting
I had been in it
for
for
a
like
while?
an hour, and then it gave up. I was like, oh my God. That's the second time we've talked about me fracturing a chair of some sort on this show.
That is
Once was me going through through the hay wagon up at the Sulphur Springs Mud Bog, which almost happened. Yeah, my chair went through the Sulphur Springs on the hay wagon,
Nice.
fell off and popped up in front of 1,000 people and threw my hands in the air and whatever.
Did they cheer?
Who was it?
The chair broke.
We were talking.
And then Greg
Did
Phipps,
they cheer?
Oh
Did
yeah,
they clap?
The crowd was went nuts.
crazy.
It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Who was it we were talking to whenever we were telling that story?
It was your buddy.
It was Trevor.
Trevor, yeah.
Yeah, it was
He
Trevor.
was there in the audience.
Yeah, Trevor
He was
was
like,
in
"Oh,
the
I remember
audience."
that."
He said, "Oh yeah, I saw that." But, that was how many years ago?
That was probably 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So Trevor was like
the hay wagon's
14.
not any better. And Greg Phipps nearly fell through it a couple weeks ago on that Saturday night when we did it at the end of August. So yeah, so Mark is. We'll get into Mark a little bit, but just kind of give you a heads up as to what he is. He's actually on Facebook. Have a lot of fun with Mark. I never get to see him. He pulled up here and he rolled in a 1985 half-ton Chevrolet pickup truck. It's a custom deluxe.
Yes.
Green.
I was a little worried. I have a grown-up car. It stays parked, but I thought, no, I'm going to drive this. I'm going to drive it to Newcastle. We'll see what happens, and I made it here.
And it can be seen in the background of the picture.
Yeah, we'll have some
Yes.
pictures that are posted along with this. That you go to our Facebook page, bosshogliberty.com. That brings you to the Fireside page. Facebook is linked there. Of course, you probably found us through Facebook. That's probably our number one way that you find the podcast. So
I really like the interior of that truck.
It's a manly interior.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
doesn't offer anything.
There are
I
no
usually-
frills.
No frills.
I usually really
No
like the red interiors. Like my 91 has a red interior,
Oh,
and that's one of the reasons that sold me on it was because I love the red interiors that the old Chevy trucks have. But the cream looks really good with the green on yours.
The cream, the green, and then you have a vinyl seat, rubber floors, and you have
Right up
the
on that mic
steering
for me.
wheels.
Right, yeah, a real
The
steering wheel.
A real steering wheel with the
With
finger grips.
Yeah, with
on
your
it.
with your finger
Yeah.
grips and
Yeah.
no airbag. You've
No
got the
airbag.
square, pop it out, and you can electrocute yourself on the horn.
You
if
can.
if you
Yep.
jump it. I used to play with that one as a kid. Yeah, my dad had one. He had an '84 that was Harvest Gold, and it was a terrible truck. But it was, it didn't perform well. It was a dog.
They will last forever, but they'll rust.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
hell,
only
my
issue.
2003 is rusting.
Yeah.
$5,700 right now is the advertised price.
Man.
If you contact the Boss Hog Liberty today, we will make you a deal.
It keeps going
Just-
down lower and lower. Every episode.
It is a steal. I don't
Ladies
know why
and
it's not
gentlemen,
gone
just
yet.
wait like 6 months, and
By
it'll
the
be
time we
like
get to
$2,000.
episode 60, it's going to be a raffle. Just so I don't have to pay car insurance
There you
anymore.
go.
Does it have the suicide doors?
Yeah, no, they're suicide doors. Yes. Yeah, it's a 4-door suicide door model, SLT, the slutty edition.
Yeah.
It's got the leather. It's got heated seats. It's loaded. It's truly a steal. 4-wheel drive, a little bit of rust, no leaks of any sort, Mark.
Oh, no leaks.
No leaks.
That's big, yeah.
Yeah. So Mark, as we're planning this week, he sends over the same tape like 3 times. He sends us his demo tape. I've never had a guest do that before.
It was a Facebook chat, and I just wanted to ruin it, basically. I was just trying
So
to...
you're just
I was
spam
just-
posting
I was
us with a
spamming
YouTube
you.
video.
Yeah.
And I finally clicked on it and realized you had posted it like that
Right.
day.
Yeah.
The third time was a charm because after 3 times I clicked on it too.
Yeah.
I wanted more clicks.
I had to figure out what this was about, right?
I never clicked on it.
Yeah. So it's 15 minutes of Mark explaining how to determine if in your 2007 to 2013
Yeah, yeah.
half-ton Chevrolet truck,
Yeah.
or GMC, I'm sure, or a Tahoe like I have, or Suburban. I'm sure this applies to all of them. There's news to the weather stripping.
Yeah.
But a normal person would go out and get new weather stripping.
I know where you're going with this.
But no, Mark
No.
spends 15 minutes with the garden hose.
Yeah, garden
and,
hose.
Just
A pool noodle.
bird dogging a solution.
Yeah.
There was some screen insert involved.
Screen spline.
Screen
Yeah.
spline, a pool noodle.
Yep.
I think some sort of a trash bag was
A
used.
trash bag. I use that too.
It was
I
very
tuck that in.
professional. Actually, very professionally done.
I thought we were going to get to the end of it and have something that looked really nice, but then
No.
there was a pool noodle still showing from the
That
cab.
was it.
So
They leak. If you look up the 07 to 13 model and try to find out where they leak, you'll have better luck trying to find out where they don't leak. Water gets in the things everywhere. But otherwise, beautiful truck. Drove it to South Dakota and everything.
yeah,
It's great.
It's
Yeah.
it's a great truck.
Just little water gets in. Just a dribble of water, but it's enough to drive me nuts.
I could tell because you had put silicone across the top of your door in the video.
So
That won't rub out.
besides watching 15-minute videos of Mark making a door sealant, what'd you do this weekend, Jer?
Oh my God. So Clay, Dakota and I, we didn't see each other this weekend. He chose work to build this studio that we're working on. Of course, the GoFundMe is still open and available, but Dakota has gone above and beyond and has started working on that studio. But I
I'll
didn't
take that pat on the shoulder.
Yeah, congratulations, thank you.
It was a great sacrifice.
So Dakota and I, for the first time in I don't know how many weekends, it's been probably since spring, we didn't see each other this weekend.
Yeah, it was wild.
Labor Day weekend. This was a weekend that we had marked out on the calendar that we were going to spend the weekend together.
Yeah, we had
The girls were excited.
we had planned.
We
like,
were going to be at your camp down in
ago.
Brookville, Indiana, and this was going to be like a 4-day weekend for
yeah,
the
that was
four.
that was the whole plan. Like
Something really
yeah,
screwed up there.
early
And then-
early spring, we had planned. Like, hey, you're going to be coming down on Labor Day, and I'm going to tell everybody, like, tell my sister and everybody, hey, you can't stay in the other camper because Jeremiah and Sarah are coming down. And then, like, 3 weeks ago, I found out I had to work, and I was like, you know what? It's for the good of the podcast. I'm going to do it. There's money to make. There is paneling, foam paneling to buy, tables to buy, chairs to buy, a tablecloth to buy.
We don't have a
And-
tablecloth in the current studio. I'm very excited
do
about
not.
having a fancy tablecloth.
We now have a tablecloth that is stretchy and it is made for weddings. That's how fancy it is. And it's on a 48-inch round table.
It will be seen at the Audrey, Joe, and Dakota Shane Davis wedding here in
it will not be
here in a few months at the head table. I hear
black is not incorporated in our wedding theme. If you have black in your wedding theme,
Your golf.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. Black and yellow, man. Why can't you have a black and yellow wedding?
Well,
Mark, what were your wedding colors? Do you remember?
I didn't. Well, I was married in a garage in the alley by a garage, so I didn't have any. We just rode our bikes there.
Was a little impromptu.
Were you
situation.
7?
It was.
We rode our bikes there.
We did. We rode our bikes to get some coffee, and then we rode to the courthouse. We thought maybe we should get married. Who knows? We have some time off, and then we rode to the courthouse and got the papers. And then I texted a good friend of mine, Jason, who's ordained through the Church of I don't know what the
Scientology.
something where you get
L. Ron Hubbard.
It looks like it worked. You've got a ring on and you've got kids. So I think everything happened.
He was working on his motorcycle, and he rode up and said, "Will you marry us?" And he said, "Sure." And he said, "Do you promise not to be dicks to each other?" And we said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, okay." And then we signed, and then that was it.
Congratulations.
Those
So there
are
were no
actual
colors.
Beautiful vows.
It was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So that was the end of it, and that's really how everyone should get married.
That's how my parents just drove to Gatlinburg and eloped in a chapel. And my dad texted my grandma and said, "If you want to be in wedding photos, you better get down to Gatlinburg."
Wow.
That saves everyone because weddings. Who enjoys a wedding? Weddings are like the circus. People
I
go,
have to
but no one
say-
enjoys it.
I have to say, I haven't planned any of mine at all. Mm-hmm. I've done nothing. I literally texted the DJ and said, "I would like to reserve you. Send me your contract so I can give you $60." That was it. That is the
Shout out to
extent
Kevin Green.
of everything I've done.
We appreciate
Kevin
the support.
Green.
Looking forward to
DJ Kevin Green.
DJ Kevin Green and the guy that
KG.
covers Clay's county council
There you
meetings.
go, KG.
That's it. All right. So anyway, we spent the weekend apart. I had to find somebody else to hang out with. So Sarah and I spent the weekend together. And last week on the podcast, episode 19. Oh my gosh, we almost glazed over this. Travis Wyke was here. He was doing a feature.
Oh, we did.
Front page of the Courier-Times on Tuesday, full color, probably a $20,000 ad if you were to buy it in the paper as
At least.
I mean,
At least.
it was
At
unbelievable.
least 20,000.
Unbelievable coverage.
It was awesome.
Every store Dakota and I went into, we had to sign newspapers all day Tuesday.
Yeah, I actually a couple weeks ago somebody broke into one of the substations we have. It's
Shocking.
an old building, and I had to get some glass panels replaced. So I called Henry County Glass and Mirror, sent him the dimensions, and then Tuesday I guess it was.
Monday was the holiday.
Yeah, Monday was a holiday. Still worked it though. Tuesday I go into Henry County Glass and Mirror, and lo and behold, there we are sitting at the exact same table that we are now, and it says, "Podcast looks past party lines." Headline right there.
Front
And-
page at the top.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Nonchalantly, I looked at the lady and said, "Hey, that's about me."
And it's not even a crime or anything.
CourierTimes.com.
She said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, it really is." And got into discussion about the podcast. So, dang it, I can't remember her name. But if you are the receptionist at Henry County Glass and Mirror and you're listening,
This is a shout
thank
out to you. So so Travis was here and he was doing his story, and he also asked us to promote the Saved Games Library and Shop. Clay and I went down and hung out on Saturday down there
With your lovely girl.
with Sarah Potter, and there's a beer can opening somewhere. I heard it very clearly.
I put it underneath the table in hopes that it would muffle it. but
Dakota's
it
got a
didn't
hams
at
in his
all.
hand. Everything in the studio is wood or fake wood paneling, so the sound is tremendous. Really looking forward to that studio upgrade.
Yeah, I put up the foam panels this afternoon, and I have 2 walls done. So one corner is finished, one corner is not at all. And I went over there and I was like talking to myself in each one of the corners, and there's such a tremendous difference.
Echo.
Yeah, I'm like, I think it sounds pretty good in here.
He was so excited. He sent me a picture in 4 group chats at one time. I thought it was
that's
6.
the photo.
That's
Yeah.
the picture
Oh,
that he
that's
sent
nice.
out.
Checkered wall.
That's
It's
very
pretty
nice.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It
that's
is cool looking.
That's a little teaser. Maybe we'll release that. We'll release that along with the GoFundMe link, so everybody knows how to help make that happen and get us there. So when we move into that studio, your podcast quality is going to go up. It's an incentive for everybody.
There you go.
So we went down Saturday, Clay, and played in the Save Games Library and Shop at the Hope Building in Newcastle, Indiana, and we played a board game called Agenda. What was it about? What'd you think?
Agenda. Well, it's about trying to stop the socialist agenda. No, it's a game called Agenda.
Darrin Jacobs, that's for you.
Yes, and you can be different people, like a corporate person, a conservative, a liberal, a green party. What do they call that?
Some sort of a
Jill
tree
Stein?
hugger. Yeah,
Yeah, environmentalist.
yes.
I think was the appropriate word. Yeah, and you just go around this board, and it takes freaking forever.
It's like Monopoly.
Well,
it's Monopoly, but with more
it's
hell
Monopoly
built
on
into it.
steroids. Oh my gosh! Because
You have sex scandals. You get caught taking bribes.
Yeah. It's very realistic in the fact that it takes you forever to get anything done.
Yeah,
in
you can
government.
never. We played 2 different sessions. Sarah and I played once, and then I texted Clay and Dakota. I tried desperately to get Dakota to show up on the free play day, and he would not play along.
After hearing about his weekend, I understand though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Anyway,
A lot of work.
So we played, and there were 3 of us, and you basically have to have 3 things go your way. You have to have a certain number of votes, which is a currency in the game. You have to have a certain amount of money to pass something on your agenda, and then you have to have poll ranking of 50% or
like
so.
approval rating or poll rating. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Which
trying
is
to have
hard.
those 3 things happen is just brutal in this game.
Extremely.
And then if you land on a certain spot, you get to improve one of those. You get to choose one of them you want to work for, and then you make a 30-second speech based upon the agenda of what you have. I played the socialist in the game we played. Clay,
You were actually very impressive.
I was very convincing.
I was kind of scared.
and then
I saw that. I saw
Sarah
that
was a
video.
conservative, and Clay was the corporatist, which is
Yes.
very close to accurate.
Yeah.
So the one of the platform items for me when I landed on it was that I was going to be advocating for nationalizing the grid, basically creating public utilities instead of having private utilities. So and we'll post this video, and I think Clay already did post. I know Clay posted it.
Yeah,
Clay-
I posted
Clay put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
If you're friends with Clay, go follow Clay and find it, and you'll see it.
Nice little friendly.
It was tongue in cheek. I told everybody that what we need to do is take the Spiceland, Indiana model of a town municipal power company, and we need to roll it up to the state level and up to the federal level, and we need to take the leadership of somebody like Darrin Jacobs and roll that across the country. And Clay posted it. It was fun. It was funny. Everybody liked it. It was a passionate speech. It was tongue in cheek. It was friends having fun. And what did we learn about the internet, Clay?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to have fun.
I forgot that Facebook was also used for personal jabs. I forgot about that,
In
And,
defense, whenever I commented,
Oh, it triggered
on it,
Dakota too.
Hey, yeah,
I was,
yeah. Now
full
Dakota got a
on
little,
triggered.
yeah.
I mean,
We were walking
I
on his
work.
turf though.
well, it wasn't you guys. I knew that you were being funny, and then Darrin Jacobs.
God love you, Darrin.
If you're listening
Friend of the
to
show.
this, Darrin, I have no problems with you. First of all, I think you're a good person, and I made that clear.
A little bit of a communist, but a good person.
Yes. We'll just keep the helicopters away from Darrin. But anyway, he made the comment about how actually what Jeremiah was saying was correct. Municipal power and public entities that provide power for residents are actually much more efficient, are cheaper, yada, yada, yada. And everything that he said was false on every single basis.
Oh my goodness.
I work. My living is made maintaining the power grid for a for-profit entity.
Now, how much time are we going to spend on this subject?
Yeah, this is
As much time as it takes. I want to get it out there that this is
I'm gonna have to turn him
This is
down.
correct.
He's pegging the meters over there.
Very passionate.
It's ugly.
anyway. So I made I wasn't gonna comment at
Well,
first.
if you want the full take,
Yeah.
like Jeremiah said, I mean, I do want you to finish your story. I'm just saying, I'm throwing this in here at this point. You can go to the Facebook feed.
Yeah.
At my
Yeah,
feed,
absolutely.
scroll down, look for the video of Jeremiah, and there's a conversation going on there.
Yeah, and I wasn't gonna comment, but then the longer I waited,
It built.
it ate at my soul. I felt it.
Mark, do you ever just
inside.
get into an internet fight where it eats at your soul and you have to start hurling bombs back?
You've witnessed me on Facebook for
Yeah.
6 years now.
I know. I feel like we're
have you
damn
ever
near best
seen
friends.
me fight?
So I made one comment, and then the longer I stewed about it, it wasn't enough. So I
Came back 4 times without a
I made a
response.
second and a third and a fourth, and then finally I was done. And I was like, you know what? I think that I've exhausted everything. And then Darrin finally said, "You win. I concede. You were right."
Really?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I said,
but we
I've never
all
seen that
know,
happen.
we all know, Darrin is like, dude, I am so tired of this Facebook bull crap after the year I've had. So you know what, Dakota, just stick it, shove it. I'm done. You know, that's
Yeah.
what he's really
Oh.
thinking.
right.
Yes,
But
yeah.
he couldn't say that. And then
Right, exactly.
And then some other dude who I have no idea who he was
Yes, sir.
replied to the comments and started to
Clay knows who he is.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
And seeing, I was attacking intellectually. I was making valid arguments. I had a disagreement with that
He
specific
was just
point.
arguing a point, right?
And then this guy starts hurling attacks at Darrin. Like
I never realized Darrin had so much power in Henry County.
it was personal. Like, we all know that if Darrin Jacobs is involved, then everybody else in the town's going to get screwed.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Darrin is very powerful.
For working 4 days a week, he gets a lot done. Incredible,
does. He
incredibly powerful
does.
man.
I felt
He
bad.
does.
I was like, oh my gosh, I started this.
Man, yeah.
Like, this is me.
You
Well,
did.
actually, technically, Jeremiah started.
Well,
it.
yeah. We
And,
played. All we did was try to help a sponsor and play a board game, and this is what happens when we have fun.
But I corrected the gentleman. I tried correcting him and said, you know, I know Darrin personally. I think he's a good guy and he really cares about his job. He tries to stay knowledgeable on issues. I just happen to have a fundamental disagreement with this particular topic, and I wanted to make that clear. And then this guy sends an even lengthier comment
Yes.
about how much he dislikes Darrin, as a person.
So here's the first comment. This is from Mr. Gary Rogers. Unfortunately,
Oh, we're using names.
Hey, we already said Darrin.
It's on Facebook. It's right there. Unfortunately, where Darrin Jacobs is involved, the people will always lose. It's more about his personal power than anything else. And I'm like, holy cow, I didn't realize Darrin was so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a customer at the shop, and every time he comes in, I didn't realize I was in the presence of such glory.
Yeah, you were just cutting his hair like normal, a normal person.
Like a normal person. Well, now
He probably ought to get a special chair.
He is
You
gonna
got all
get
those
the
chairs in
VIP
there.
treatment.
You need to have a separate one without a broken footstool.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So Darrin, wow. Man, I apologize for not respecting your power.
Is this thread still happening? Is this still going on?
Oh,
Did it
it's
taper off?
there.
It's still there. I think it's somewhat dormant. It was mostly. So I was the rest of my weekend. I spent it all alone without my podcast crew. Sunday, I went. Girlfriend and I went with my family down to
That's how Darrin ended it.
down to Laurel, Indiana, the absolute most beautiful part of Indiana. Yeah, you all know I'm joking. Just don't pick up any needles when you come into town. They're all over the ground. We go down to Laurel to launch the boats and kayak. And actually, the people that we showed up, and 25 people show up at the moment we're launching. And it's the Lightfoots, the people you bought the barbershop from. Their crew is showing up there.
Oh yes, was it Scott and Brady?
Yeah, Scott and Brady and their family and all, a bunch of people from that group. We launch our kayaks, we go down the river. I've left my truck and my phone down at the takeout point. I get back to my phone and I turn it on and all of this is blown up and I'm like, oh my gosh, you people,
Yeah.
you're unsupervised for 4 hours and this is what happens.
This is amazing. I'm reading this right now. Wow.
Yeah,
Isn't it funny?
It's theater, small town theater.
Holy smokes!
And this show, of course, this is a national show, but this stupid argument we're having, I think, happens in every small town over some issue across
Oh
America.
yeah, and
well, it goes back. We were talking about the police calls on the.
Yes.
You know, she doesn't like my hair.
right.
Well, let me ask you this.
Goofy.
Being not around here, do you have like 1,000 sub Facebook groups related to Henry County, Newcastle?
Oh my gosh.
That kind of
Mark,
thing?
We have
I
the
ran from
Concerned
them. Dakota
Citizens
runs
group.
to them.
You
I
have-
ran from them.
You
Dakota
have
adds
no
us to
idea.
them.
Because Richmond has Speak Out Richmond, talk about it Richmond, Richmond this, Richmond scanners. It's amazing
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
sad.
I'm in Concerned Citizens of Henry County, Newcastle Crime Watch, Citizens of Henry County Scanners, Newcastle Town, what's happening in Newcastle.
Our
Oh,
friend
yeah.
our friend
It's-
James Neese is on the topics.
Oh yeah,
He's
and
on
the
top.
topics-
He lives in Tipton, and he follows topics for us and lets us know whenever something comes up.
The topics is ridiculous. Like, but who has
the most
what
it's-
chick's
it's
got
the-
the best boobs?
It's
in
the
Newcastle?
dark web of
It's like,
Newcastle internet.
What in the world?
I
You have
haven't
no
heard
names?
about this one.
Oh, you've never been on topics?
No.
Topic.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
TOPIX.
There's
Every
and-
town's got one.
Okay, here's one for you, Clay.
It's like the smut of like.
Yeah,
It's
This-
Dakota's people, really.
Yeah,
We don't need to
right.
worry about
It's
it.
north of Q.
Right.
It's for the people north of Q Avenue, south
Anyway.
of anything south of Audubon and north of Q, basically those people in there,
Yeah.
and then east of Maine.
Yeah. on the topics, there's one
Clay is
thread
cowering at this point.
which says who has the best boobs in Newcastle. That's the question of the original thread.
You are going to get in trouble.
And then
I know where this is going. I'm going to walk away. I didn't do this, Audrey Joe.
no, I'm not going to talk about that. No, it was one comment on it was I saw a chick in the town tavern who had really nice knockers. And I thought about talking to her, but I didn't want to stare too long because I am a pastor. That was the comment.
Wow.
Surely.
That was like it was one long run-on sentence, and it was a roller coaster the entire time.
Surely it was a joke. Surely.
It was
You know what I mean?
it's
Just somebody
I don't know.
just
I'm
wanted
gonna
to
have
make
to
look
some
at
crazy wild
there's
comment.
a pastor
Golly.
of I think it's a Wesleyan church here in town that frequents the topics board, and he's constantly on there, and he's talking about random issues, commenting on things, and I didn't look at the username, but I can't help but wonder, is this the same guy? Like, was this pastor of the Wesleyan church inside the town tavern and didn't want to look at a
Well,
chick too long because
he's
she had her
really,
knockers out?
really, Cody, you're really taking this podcast
Are-
into controversy.
Are we finished? Are we
This is
finished with the
amazing.
scandal and
This
libel
is-
portion of the
wow.
show? So we can move on. I walked out of the room.
Okay. The last thing I want
Wow.
to say about
Sounds
about
like a card you
these
would draw into the
groups
agenda game.
You'll have to fix this in post.
with
Oh no, it stays.
yeah, it's unedited. Everything on
Unless
the show
something
is
makes me
unedited.
look bad, we
Wow.
don't edit it.
But the last thing I want to say is, if you are not in these groups, join.
Is it the same thing? Because in Richmond, it's the person who wants to it's
They
a
have a-
lonely person.
Yes.
And I run this group as admin. You cannot advertise.
I was
this
an
on
admin.
Tuesdays.
I was an admin of the Conservative
Yeah.
Citizens
The-
before I jumped on Rex's campaign, and I tried my best, and I had to
The-
get out. It was terrible.
The citizens
and
of
that's
County.
what I was going to say. And to come back at Dakota, he says join. I say, if you want a peaceful life, run.
I have a very peaceful life.
Well,
it's full of quality, free entertainment.
Well, you are very passionate about your internet arguments too, though. So
Yeah.
It was
I-
this last week. It's taken a turn in our community. It's become all about what restaurants are dirty and have horrible reviews.
Yep.
And I took the one that was complaining.
I saw
they were
that.
complaining at Steak and Shake or Lee's Chicken or somebody.
Yeah, it was
or
Steak and
KFC. KFC just got remodeled, and it's apparently it's not any better
It's still
according to
bad.
most of the internet.
The buffet in there is horrible.
So
They didn't have the baked beans I wanted. Close it down.
yeah, as they're gumming their teeth, they're complaining about the buses aren't welcome anymore.
Of course, it's written in all caps
Yes.
by a 64-year-old lady. Of course.
Of course. So it's I just said that, look, guys, I miss this being all about potholes and road construction and everybody bitching about that. Now it's like devour Newcastle.
That is my favorite thing. Because before the group it was a devotion to
fix my roads.
We need to tag Kim Kronk in every single post about every single road in the county. And this is the only way that we can reach our commissioner is through this Facebook group. That was the mindset. And then all of a sudden,
it's the reason one of our commissioners isn't even on Facebook.
Do you know what happens?
Because he's afraid of taking the bullets of the Facebook hatred, and I don't blame him.
Do you know what happens after all this? Roads starting getting fixed by NDOT, by the county itself. Things started happening, okay?
Things are really happening now.
Yeah. And then...
That is the purpose in all this road construction.
Yeah.
It's all coming together now.
Now, after all the road construction
I watched County Councilman Clay Morgan go to the State House and lobby on our behalf for this. He caused the second problem.
There
We're going to be fine.
Yeah,
we did
We did
together.
carpool. Yeah.
Yes.
The second problem is now every single baby boomer in the county is saying, why are the roads all shut down? What's going on around here? We're locked in here in Newcastle. I don't understand what's going on.
Mark being from Richmond, I think Richmond's probably as bad or getting ready to be even worse because they're going to shut down I-70 next week.
Really?
Yeah.
This I didn't know.
They're sliding the new bridge they're building on.
Oh, yeah.
That's being
Yeah.
slid into place. So y'all are going to have a shutdown interstate. So good luck getting across.
Oh, wow.
Getting across your town.
You live in Richmond, Mark?
Yes.
I used to play some music at local eateries. In
Really?
Richmond. Yeah, Joe's Pizza,
Joe's Pizza?
Roscoe's.
Is that why Joe's shut down? Is that,
Maybe Joe's shut down?
yeah. There's no Joe's
no.
Pizza anymore.
Wow, that really sucks.
Roscoe's, they're
boy.
still around.
Oh, Roscoe's.
Band?
is awesome.
You were in a band? Or?
I was in a music group.
What was it called?
We called ourselves
Dakota and the Skin Flutes.
We called ourselves Itchy Zeus. Is what we
What?
called ourselves. We did cover songs from bands like Flight of the Conchords.
Really?
Cake. We did a lot of Cake songs. Blue October songs.
What happened to the band?
Sam Stone is still a local musician in Richmond. Moved down to Richmond to go to IU East and ended up.
Go Wolfpack. Is that what you got? What are they?
There's.
Of course, that's a rival school for you. You're in higher education, but a
I
different.
graduated from IU East.
Did you?
Yeah.
Just a
There's
shade under
the
8 years?
Wolverines?
Red
No,
Wolves? Are they the Red Wolves?
It's the Red Wolves.
Red Wolves.
Red
Yeah.
Wolves?
Yeah, Red Wolves.
That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
Auburn
Wolverine
goes
is
to
a
school
shoe.
now.
I
I'll
think.
give a shout out to Brenton Burris, the all-time basketball point scorer over there.
We'll have to tag Sam
My
in
boy.
this because he is a talented musician. He moved down there and he does the music, does a really good job, books a lot of local venues. Should really check out his Facebook page and his SoundCloud. It's all good stuff. But we used to play down there. He just moved down there, and I started working in Muncie. But
There you go. And that's how the Beatles broke up.
that's how we broke up.
So back to Mark. This is the time we want to highlight Mark a little bit.
That's scary.
You've got a
You're
history.
glowing.
I'm glowing. Why am I here exactly?
This
What
voice
is-
that you have
My voice.
is not a stranger to East Central Indiana.
I'm a has-been country music request show host from the early 2000s.
That's
yes.
right. So Mark Brim of Kix 96 of Richmond, Indiana, a very strong signal
15
over
years
here.
ago. That's a strong, 50,000 watts?
Yeah, I
At
mean, it's
least
a
it
big
was.
station.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way to Eaton, Ohio,
Yeah.
probably Dayton. I mean, Kix
Maybe.
96 is big time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then-
it's the
but-
only station you get in Hagerstown.
Probably
The
is.
only station. Like, there's 104.7, which is out of Dayton, and it is a sister station of 94.7 here in Indy.
Q95,
Yep.
WFBQ.
And you cannot get, because I listen to classic rock, and you cannot get Q95 or 104.7 in Hagerstown. And it is the most irritating thing I've ever experienced in my life. I
WTTS
hate it.
drops right off over there, too.
I don't know what that is.
That's the station out of Bloomington I like to listen to. Anyway.
I listen
The
to
Dead Zone.
WLW a lot, just out of habit. I don't even like it.
700
anymore.
WLW?
Yeah, 700. It's just
Oh, yeah.
out of habit. I
Is
just,
it Bill Cunningham down there? Who's the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
was.
I don't.
Is he still down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know why.
Radio talk on the podcast here.
Yeah.
Boss Hog of Liberty with Jeremiah Morrell, Dakota Davis.
I can't believe that it's
Clay Morgan and Mark
It's
Brim.
30 minutes, and we're at bullet point number 2.
Number 2.
Well,
We're working
I
on it.
know. I'm looking through here, and I'm thinking we need
There
to
will be-
really
there will
get
be
on
no
to
panicking.
Mark
Out of like
We're gonna be
9,
okay.
and
will.
out of 9
skip
bullets.
like
okay.
3 parts.
So
Speaking of bullet points,
By the way,
I
we-
want to hit the debt ceiling.
we want
sometime.
to get a
Yeah.
shout
I wanna
out
hit it.
to Indiana Talks. We're on there now, by the way. If you're listening live Saturdays and Sundays noon, you'll hear us on Indiana Talks. So yeah, Mark's a failed candidate twice.
Yes, failed candidate twice.
He- just like me, we're tied.
Yes. You
But,
tried a lot harder, though.
Yeah, that's
You
why it's so
tried.
sad.
Yeah. I mean, I really thought you did well. You did better than I did.
20. Well, you were in a 3-way race.
Yeah.
he is
Yes.
Mark is also Boss Hog of Liberty's token atheist.
One of my token atheists.
Am I atheist?
I don't know.
see this on the bullet points.
It's written, so it has to
I
be
consider
true.
myself an apatheist.
Okay, here's the thing though,
Yeah.
is
Is that an agnostic? Do you know God exists,
no,
but you don't care?
I just don't care. Because I don't. Christians, fine. They can get on my nerves a lot. Thoughts and prayers and stuff. Whatever. Keep that to yourself. But then on the other hand,
It's the evangelicals that bother you.
the evangelicals. Well, everyone bothers me, really. But atheists bother me too because they're so smug.
yeah, I understand that.
Because I'm not necessarily a believer, but at the same time, I mean, Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
God damn it.
you're an
Don't
atheist. You're an atheist without balls.
Well, no, I just don't care.
You just don't care.
Yeah.
Are you
I just
raising
don't
your
care.
kids up as Jews then, or how are you how are you bringing up the children?
What now? And again, now I'm going to sound obnoxious because this sounds pretentious, but there's if they ever ask, there's lots of religions.
Pick one. I don't
Pick
care.
one.
Here's a
Whatever.
hat.
Whatever you want to do. Just pick whatever you want.
Choose what you'd like.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I
Just
don't.
be one of them dang Muslims.
They can be whatever they want to be or nothing, whatever it is. I don't really raise them under. There's one thing they're not baptized or anything like that. But no, I just I just never really cared.
If you did baptism, would it be
Yeah.
full immersion or would it be just a sprinkle?
Well, I don't know.
I was fully immersed.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a Baptist. Are you a Baptist?
No, I'm a Quaker.
I'm an apathetic Baptist that was baptized in the Catholic Church, so I'm probably
Really?
not good with
Well-
any of them.
Well, now
I was
if-
an
if-
altar boy. Did you know
if
that?
you
were an
guys
altar
keep this
boy?
I was.
conversation up,
So-
it may be broadcast on TBN next time.
Hey,
Wow.
I'm sure that people will be praying for us after
Not
this episode.
so. Not only do we look past political party lines, we look past our religious lines as well.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
just need a Muslim and a Jew to join us, and we.
There you go.
Actually, I'm Jewish.
That's true.
You're
We learned.
You just
we-
said you were a
found that
Quaker.
out.
What are you? Do you
he's
know
getting
what you
married
are?
in the Quaker
Okay.
Church.
Oh.
Aren't you a cog? Aren't you from the Church of God? Church
No,
of Christ?
I was raised in the Nazarene church.
You're
But-
all over the map here.
As I grew older, and I realized
Says this at 21.
I grew older, and I realized that I liked tattoos, and I liked drinking beer, and I liked the occasional cigar. I realized that my beliefs weren't very well aligned with the Nazarene Church. Much too conservative for me, because I got a tattoo, like my second tattoo on my wrist, and I went to church and I happened to have a short sleeved shirt on. And I swear one of the old ladies in the back passed out because I had a tattoo.
Passed out.
It was on your
she
wrist?
She didn't really
A gasp
pass out.
On your wrist?
Yeah, this one.
So how many people said, did that hurt?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
So many came up and said, well, wait, how do you think that's going to look once you're older? I said, I don't care. I'm
That
young."
part's not going to stretch much. It's the one. It's the one on the small of his back that I'd be worried about.
I don't have one on the small.
That's just what Audrey told me. I don't know.
I don't know. I can't see
Yikes.
back there.
And back to Mark.
Oh, interesting.
So
There
so
you
Mark
go.
and
There you go.
Mark and I connect on so many levels on the Facebook. He was
Facebook?
when you were relevant in radio.
Well, I still work in radio. I work now. I don't want to mention Kicks 96, but not mention my current station.
Oh,
Which is G1013. I work there a few times a year. I don't know.
is
Sometimes I fill in there.
that Total Request Live with Mark? What are we doing?
Whatever they want me to do. I fill in the morning show, stuff like that. So,
Home
yeah.
improvement.
Home improvement. I do a lot of home improvement talk.
Talk about grubs
That's
and
true.
moles.
I talk about grubs,
Can-
moles, garden talk. Yeah.
Can we point out that every
Yeah.
single point that I made under Mark Brim's
Yeah.
spotlight on the show notes is
It was wrong in every way.
Every single
Well,
one.
But we did have
because
Mark-
I'm kind of elusive. I think Jeremiah pointed this out that I I'm nothing but half truths.
Right.
So you were in.
His resume is full of lies.
It's all lies. Everything about
Corey,
me is a lie.
Lion, Jared, but Mark is here to basically make me look better.
You were in the Facebook chat, and I got added late.
It was
because,
a very active chat.
Yeah, I didn't think that I was going to be here today, so I wasn't in it at first.
Oh.
And Jeremiah added me in, and I started looking through it, and I'm trying to collect, how am I going to write the show notes for Thursday? And I start seeing Mark's like, how much can I dog on religion?
Yeah.
How all this stuff, and
He's
then,
just touching the fence to see if he gets
Jeremiah's
the
like, I want to talk 90s country music with you.
Yeah.
And you were bringing up
connected
your
that.
square body truck. So I'm
Square
like,
body
okay.
trucks.
So Mark Brim is an atheist. Mark Brim is a country music fanboy. And then you started talking about how you work at Earlham College. So I'm like, okay, and he is an educator. All of those are
lies.
wrong.
All lies. All lies.
Yeah.
I didn't even know until I wrote the show notes.
So Mark rolls up
And I
in
sent
the
them to the
driveway in
group.
his 85 Chevy and says, "Oh yeah, by the way, I accidentally started a car club."
I accidentally started a car club. Yeah, when I bought, there's the Model T club. There's motorcycle clubs. When I bought mine, they call those the Square Bodies. I started a Facebook group called the Richmond Square Bodies. It's now the Wayne County Square Bodies. Who knows? We might even
It could be
expanding.
Eastern Indiana's,
Yeah.
and Dark County.
I can't claim the credit, though. Other people joined in, but then one gentleman from around Centerville joined in who has a entire farm dedicated to square body pickups.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so he's really
for
kind of the
him.
one who's carried the torch. And so we
Do you accept do all square bodies matter? Fords and Dodges, or just Chevrolets and GMCs?
Oh, I'd like to see a Ford show up. No.
I've got a guy with a half-ton Ford, brown, 85.
They call 85. I don't know what they call those. The generation before that, they call those the dent sides. That's their own club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's
Square
not-
body's 73 to 87 Chevy pickup, or that extends into 91 if you're talking about crew cabs, Suburbans, and stuff like
Correct, yeah, because the Suburban came along later with the rounded body.
Yeah.
That they took from 80. So the pickups were 88 to 94 with the style that Dakota has,
Yep.
and then 95 to 99 was a different style.
that. Yep.
Mine is a
And
square
then-
body, technically.
No, you're not. If it was if it was a full size or a Suburban, it would be.
You could show up to our events, but you can't park next to us.
Yeah.
You have to park and then walk
man.
over.
Yeah,
Is it because the pointed nose on mine?
It's because you have a totally different truck.
It's a pointed nose.
You don't have the
isn't it?
vents. If you have the vents
Is it because
inside,
it's black?
the
Air vents?
tilt out the air vents and
Yeah.
the floor vents are the best part of those
Yep,
trucks.
floor vents,
I love that.
wing
Black
windows.
trucks matter.
So
Black trucks do matter.
So anyway, Mark's got that, and then Mark was
Mine's
bitching
bigger.
on Facebook last maybe a month ago
I bitch about everything on
about the Preble County, Ohio Fair just over the line, and how they charge $10, and he thought that Garth Brooks should be performing if he was going to pay $10 to go to a
I
county
pulled
fair.
up, and it was my wife, myself, my two kids. I just thought in my head $5 to get in. That's what it is at Wayne County Fair. I pulled up. They said $12. I only had $20 in my pocket. That took away all my fare money. I only had $8 left.
So the kids couldn't even get an elephant ear.
No, they couldn't. It was very
That's
sad.
good.
$12
because
to
elephant
get in.
ears suck, and funnel cakes are the best.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
Very controversial.
All right, here we go. Getting into debates, just
Yeah.
like on the internet.
This is just like it.
Okay, so you each have 30 seconds to explain.
Yeah. I
No,
have a
so-
fundamental disagreement.
So then, so Mark and I
Yeah.
got into the people that would have been on the air when you were a big legend over in Wayne County.
A
when
legend, I
listened
was.
to you
Yeah,
as a
it was.
youth.
It was called. What was it called? It was called Brim's something request. No, I can't remember.
Yeah. So I was like the Mary Chapin Carpenters, and
Yeah.
the Aaron Tippin, and
Darrin Tippin.
Sammy Kershaw, Garth Brooks, and Brooks and Dunn, all of those guys.
Brooks and
Yeah.
Dunn. Man, I used to have a CD by them.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Even one.
That got into my head though, because I worked there from I want to say 2000 till maybe 2006, so that's in my head a lot of that, and there's a lot of the 90s that carried over.
Of course.
I love it.
Yeah. Joe Diffie.
Joe
Yeah.
Diffie.
Oh yeah,
I love
Joe
the
Diffie.
novelty songs. Joe
Yeah.
Diffie was big with novelty songs.
Oh
so-
yeah, Third Rock from the Sun.
And somehow we got involved in that thread, and we were just posting. We're seeing who could outpost the other.
Yeah, we were
And,
just
it was
going.
great. We were at a dead heat.
The thread of the year.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
beautiful.
it was very productive for me in the day job that day. I'm sure. Some of my best work. So
And
yeah,
I got
anyway.
to meet some of them too. That was a
Yeah,
quite a
you did
pleasure.
because they would
I
come
enjoyed
through
that.
and
yeah.
they're
Neil
driving.
McCoy, Charlie Daniels. I don't know whatever her name was. Shelley Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil McCoy would be
Woohoo.
cool. I would be excited about Neil McCoy today. I really don't think I'd pay more than $20. So Dakota and
Yeah.
I, my wedding gift, if he doesn't bitch out on me, I'm taking the 4 of us, Audrey, myself, Dakota, and Sarah, to the Garth Brooks concert.
I thought that the wedding gift was that you paid for all of the bachelor party.
No. Well, yeah. Speaking of that, if any of the participants in Dakota's bachelor party are listening, you can direct message me and make arrangements to pay for the Airbnb that I was
$150
each. Yes.
Actually, no,
Wow.
it's $200 because I don't want to pay for it.
That's right. If the guys pitch in, it's appropriate, Clay, for a bachelor party for the bachelor not to have to pay for the room.
I would think so.
The rest of the party should pick that up.
I would
But
think so.
I mean, I think I'm also supposed to provide the tux rental.
that's never happened for me.
I
In
didn't
all of
do
the
that.
weddings I've been in, it's always been on the bridal party to deal with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's like, hey, I want you
Okay,
to be a
never mind.
groomsman, pay
All you guys-
$200.
Yeah.
Yes.
Be in my wedding. It's going to
Yeah,
cost you
thanks.
$1,000.
Yeah,
but you
my
really
cousin
like me.
did that.
Yeah. Isn't it great?
$148 for a tux.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
How much was yours, Jerry?
Yeah.
A lot.
It's an honor for you to be in my
How much?
wedding. Pay for it.
$148.
It
To
was-
this day, I remember
I think it
exactly.
was like
$148.
Exactly.
I think Jeremiah's was like 116,
Yeah, it was online.
something like that.
It's very awkward because you have to go get measured somewhere.
I had to do it online because, like, Jeremiah is the only one.
I'm the only friend
He
he
is
could
the-
find in town.
He is the only, yeah. That is exactly right. He's the only groomsman I have that lives around here.
$144.45. was my
Wow.
cost.
That's why I'm against weddings. That's why I am anti-wedding.
Will you pick it?
I'm against
I'll give you the
opposite-sex
the
marriage.
time and the
comes-
location, and you can protest.
It comes
Yes.
with the full suit, the shirt, the tie, and the shoes.
We do get to keep it for 2 weeks. I've never had a
wow.
2
tux.
weeks.
Yeah, we
The
get
hell
two.
do you do in 2 weeks with a tux?
2
I'm
weeks.
going to wear it everywhere.
And
Might as well. Get your
Prorated
money.
out. That's like
Yeah.
$10 a day.
That's not
2
bad.
weeks and 3 days.
Yeah,
Don't forget the 3 days.
yeah. We're totally wearing the tuxes down to.
I'd wear
down
it to
to
mow
Nashville.
the yard. I'd do everything.
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
It's going to have grass stains on it when it's over.
You will be Oliver Wendell Douglas.
All right, so let's throw away half of what we did here and get to. So this week, the national news. There's a new Supreme Court, not a new Supreme Court judge. There's a new Surgeon General.
We're moving on to national news now.
Yeah, for now, I don't know.
I really want to hit that death.
Yeah, I want to get to Clay
I
stuff.
want to hit it.
We'll get back to it if
I wanna
whatever
hit
we
the
need to
death
have to
zone,
get back to,
you know?
Dakota.
I do not like spur of the moment's decisions. It needs
Are you
to be
triggered?
planned out. I am
Triggered.
This has just thrown off the entire dynamic of the show.
We
for
could have
me.
talked about items 4 through 5, but you had to go on and on and on about how Darrin Jacobs was wrong, and we had to make some cuts.
Well, I made in the show notes. There was one thing that we could cross out. The other
Everything else
two
we have to have.
were necessities.
Is that
You spent 15 minutes talking about 90s country music.
We spent 3.
well, technically that was one of your points, country music fanboy.
All
Exactly.
right.
That's true.
It was in the
Yeah,
notes.
that's
It was incorrect, but we rolled with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried to cover up your mistake, and now this looks terrible. And remember, we are syndicated. We're a syndicated show now. We
Syndicated.
don't have room for these mistakes. All right, that's enough of the show meeting. So there's a new Surgeon General for the United States of America, dude named Jerome Adams. Cool guy. Clay, were you at this meeting that I remembered
Actually
having?
was not.
You didn't make it. It was a commissioner's meeting, so you're excused.
Yes.
But he came in the fall of 2015 to Newcastle, Henry County here, and there was what they thought was a cancer cluster, or people had gotten very worked up, and there was a very rare type of brain cancer called glioblastoma or something along those lines. I went to business school. I'm not a medical guy.
I actually went to school with a girl whose dad died, and they were one of the people that was
Yeah.
a big part of that.
There were quite a few people, and it was a very sad situation. And these families showed up, and they found each other and talked about how they thought something was going on, so they went to the
Legitimate
state.
concerns.
And Jerome Adams was some sort of a health administrator at the time. Came in and basically explained to the people, hey, he was very empathetic, and I was truly impressed, and that's what I walked away from this meeting as, and kind of left it, and it just made an impression. But basically, he said, hey, statistically, we don't have anything here that says that you have a cancer cluster, and it's just bad luck. Basically, we're very sorry. Empathize. We'll take your information. We'll try to keep studying it. We're not done here, but we don't have any answers for you because it's just statistically this happens. So then he continued to work for Governor Pence, and obviously Governor Pence is now Vice President Pence. Things progressed, and they needed to appoint a new Surgeon General. And they appointed this guy from Indiana, and I didn't think anything of it. Then I saw a picture, and I thought, I know that guy from somewhere. And then it finally clicked, and I thought, there's not that many times where I've met or been in the, a cabinet level person. It was just cool. I wish him well, and it was kind of an interesting thing that here a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, the guy was sitting here in Henry County at our courthouse, and there he is, getting sworn in. So cool. Congratulations to him.
He's a young guy too, right?
Yeah, he's like 40.
It's pretty young.
I think he's from like the East Coast and then came here for grad school at IU, and then he stayed basically.
Yeah.
So, but really impressive.
There were people that were worried about his age, and Mike Pence made a funny little comment about him being 40.
Right in the mic for me, Clay.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm bad at that, aren't I?
You are. You're killing me.
I am bad at that.
Killing me.
Let me. I'll just read a quote here from Jerome Adams. Public health is about creating conditions where everyone can not only survive, but thrive.
Oh.
I'd just be happy if they'd get out of the way.
Let's hope he could do that. Right?
Has anybody heard from Dr. Ben Carson since Jerome Adams has been placed into position?
Ben Carson is in charge of homes, isn't he?
Well, I know, but it's like anytime you were on Facebook during the campaign and late season campaign, whenever it was between Trump and Hillary, it seemed like every single Trump supporter was putting out these like, oh, this will be the best cabinet.
The proposed cabinet.
Yeah, this is the way it should be. And it had like Ben Carson, Surgeon General, and it had
Ted Nugent.
Who's that? What's that sheriff's name?
Sheriff Joe Arpaio.
No, not Arpaio. No.
I know who you're talking about.
Duke,
he was
Duke
fired
Clark
recently or whatever,
David
right?
Clark?
David Duke.
No.
I thought he was going to be in the cabinet. You dodged that bullet, Clay.
I can't think of who it was. But anyway, it's like
No way.
every single Trump supporter thought that it was like a done deal. Ben Carson is going to be our new Surgeon General because he's the best man for the job. Apparently, Mike Pence was like, no.
Duke Clark, for the record, is from Sex Drive and The Office, if you remember that guy.
Oh,
that's who it was. Who's the
That's
intern.
Clark Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it David Clark then? Sheriff David Clark?
I don't know what you're
I
talking
know who
about.
you're talking about.
You know,
he was
David
fired.
Clark? Yeah, Sheriff.
Didn't he
Okay,
resign or
yeah.
fired last week?
Was he?
Oh, the fellow
Was he?
from Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin, yeah.
Or am I?
Yeah, he.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Milwaukee Sheriff. Milwaukee
Yeah.
County Sheriff.
And now that you mention, he got appointed to something here recently. I
Oh,
feel
he got
stupid right
appointed.
now because I can't think of it. But
He didn't resign. He got appointed to something.
I have no answers. I don't have one of these internet phones like these guys have.
Someday.
You don't have a
Someday.
smartphone?
No, well,
It's all worth Googling.
It's only if I'm in
Oh, my
Wi-Fi.
Oh, we've got
area.
Wi-Fi
Look at
here.
that
Look right there on the
phone.
wall.
Sorry.
It's the
On the
Ron
wall.
Swanson guest is
What?
the Wi-Fi network.
This
Look at
looks
that.
like a wallet.
Leslie Knope is the
This
is
phone
the password for the
legitimately
guest.
looks like a wallet.
Jump on the Wi-Fi, everybody.
That's Republic Wireless. I only pay $12 a month for this thing.
Wow, that's
Republic
awesome.
Wireless. Are they the ones that
Yeah.
Glenn Beck promotes?
That's how you can afford
Really?
to have
Paying for
a
the,
card.
are you paying for the
Patriot
conservative
Mobile.
Patriot
This is-
Mobile? The conservative agenda phone?
Yes. This is brought to you. See, it says the Blaze on the back here.
It will only allow you to access the Blaze and InfoWars. But other than that, you're good. Like, what other news sources do you need?
That's it.
Everything else is fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
You have fake news.
So, all right. So Clay agreed begrudgingly. I tried to warn him when he said he was going to be a regular contributor that some nights were going to be uncomfortable. And for some reason, Mark, he's terrified.
Terrified.
I don't know why. I'm going to have to
Really?
give him an extra big tip if I make it in tomorrow before he closes the
we
pod.
are good.
But we promised we would talk about real issues.
Real issues.
And
Yeah.
I guess, unfortunately, I think your President Trump, has already reached a deal on this debt ceiling thing, whether or not you like it or not.
Yeah.
So let's frame the debate. The country is hurling rapidly towards running out of money again because we have an agreement. We're only going to borrow
We have money?
$20 gazillion, and we're pushing up against the number. And I think because of the hurricane that has hit Texas and the one that's getting ready to hit Florida, FEMA's going through more money than they thought, so they don't have as much time. So panic is in the streets, and that's where Clay's going to pick up the football and run it in. Just like the Patriots just ran in the first touchdown of the NFL season, 7-0 Patriots as we record this. 7-0 Patriots over the Kansas City Chiefs of the AFL.
All right,
First quarter.
So we've got Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn.
Yes,
yeah.
of course. Of Texas?
From Texas, yep.
Right into the mic, Clay.
Said...
Broadcasting is very difficult.
Well, when I get my headphones on, I'll be able to hear myself better.
Beats by Dre.
I believe that FEMA is going to literally run out of money at the end of this week. So it's imperative that we get that Harvey supplemental passed. And the leader, being Mitch McConnell, has made the decision to attach the debt limit to that, and I support that. So we know that there's several senators, that don't support it. Not enough, it's obviously. But you got people like Rand Paul who just simply say, why do we have to attach it? Why can't we deal with it as a separate issue? And he had a very common sense solution, at least to me. But he says, let's take some of our funding that is slated for foreign aid, and instead of using it for foreign aid, use it to fund FEMA or to help these people that are in distress in Houston and the wildfires, and then now Irma that's getting ready to hit Florida.
So basically he's saying if you have an unauthorized expense, let's find a place to trim it, and he's putting foreign aid on the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is exactly what you would do on the council.
You guys need to
it's
be
exactly
careful.
what I would want to see happen, and this is what's been so frustrating about government for so many years now, and especially even on the I know you guys are going to just
go ahead. This is a safe
grin
space.
ear to ear, but especially on the Republican side, because we're supposed to be the party of conservative spending and
You usually
budgets.
You usually are that like from September to the first Tuesday in November,
right? Exactly.
And then
I
by
hear
January,
I hear you.
somebody forgets.
We are the conservative party.
So
now let me throw $5.5 million at this airline that is offering a one-way flight from Indianapolis to Paris.
You're getting off subject here. But yeah, so now they say, well, we need funding, so we're going to throw money at it, and let's attach the debt ceiling to it. So now not only can we make funding, conjure it up, now we take our country even deeper in debt. And according to Rand Paul, he sees that, that's one of our number one security issue right now. And, I agree with him. We're on an unsustainable path. And we couldn't help this hurricane. Yeah, obviously, you can't help what happens. These are our people, and Mr. Mark over here. We've spoke a little bit about religion, but even in Scripture, it says that if you don't provide for your own household, you're worse than an infidel or worse than an unbeliever. Even God Himself said, "Take care of your family first." And so these are our people. These are American citizens.
Individuals probably ought to be doing that. Not necessarily
these are American citizens.
You better be careful.
To do what we
Clay.
have to do.
Saying things like "America first" will get you labeled a Nazi.
Well, right. I hear you. But here's I can
Newcastle
rant on that
Antifa's
forever.
coming down.
But obviously, my rant's not going to change what happened. But
so there was a deal struck today or yesterday between Schumer, Pelosi, and the White House?
Yeah, well, because before I make this statement, I have to say I do support the president, and I am trying to swallow hard at some of his actions.
Why do you want to support that guy?
But, well, if nothing else, good and bad, take the good and the bad with it. He's disrupting the system, which I see as a good thing.
Sure.
However, now we have to live in it and kind of get through it for a while. But the comment I wanted to make is he is keeping his promise. He's learning to make deals. And so now he's kind of giving them exactly what they wanted.
You think this is a strategy?
I don't know. It's just very aggravating. But before, as I end the little rant here, there is one thing that I do want to say that's very serious. I think it's very serious, and it goes beyond Republican, Democrat, Libertarian. It goes beyond party politics. It deals with America. It deals with the truth of where we're actually at. So we're going to talk a little bit about something that the Treasury Secretary said, Stephen Mnuchin. He said, if you pass just a supplemental, they may not be able to put the money forward without having the debt ceiling raised. And then we go on from a senior Republican aide familiar with the issue. You don't want an inability to obligate funds because of either the disaster relief accounts running out of money or because the Treasury is running low on its cash balance in an emergency.
So, once again, we're seeing here where a disaster is occurring. We have these issues with our nation being $20 trillion in debt, and any time that someone speaks out against raising the debt ceiling because of these hurricanes, like what we're talking about right now, we are labeled evil people. Obviously, we do not care. We don't care, obviously, about the victims of Hurricane Harvey or Irma. That is the current mentality. Right. If we speak out against it,
forget the solution that was presented. That is a viable and common sense solution.
I am not telling you to not spend money and send money through FEMA to the hurricane victims. I'm saying take money away from our illegal foreign wars that we're engaged in right now and put them towards that. To me, I've always said this, and I've always felt this way since I joined the Libertarian Party, and since I heard Austin Peter give a speech. Austin Peterson, sorry.
That's the one. And
libertarianism is the philosophy, not just the politics, but the philosophy of common sense. Mm-hmm. That's the way that I've always looked at it. Like you can be a Republican, or you can be a Democrat, or you can be an independent. It doesn't matter. But libertarianism as a whole is more of a philosophy than a party to me. If it takes the Libertarian Party, if it takes you with a lot of libertarian-leaning ideas like what you have right now, running in the Republican Party to get elected into the county council, and then spread those ideas through that way, spread that philosophy that way, it doesn't matter to me as long as it's happening. I would rather see the ideas be implicated and put to use and it actually be working, instead of just continually trying and nothing happening, and here you are. Like that, to me, getting things done is more important than staying loyal to party lines. I'll say that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the party is the team you run with, but sometimes things are done, and there's a system there. There's a monster there. There's no doubt about it.
Well, in your parties, let's be honest, in places like Henry County or Wayne County or even Rush County, they're one party controlled. No matter how strong of a candidate you are at the local level, if you're running,
it's very difficult.
If you're running as a Democrat in Henry County or as a Libertarian, it is a tough road.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
And then you get a party that has, that by default probably has 60% of the people that are going to vote for it in the Republican Party. People run whether they're really Republicans or not, and then you end up with almost two factions of your party here in the county that have different views on what the future is. So you have a very real inter-party split that's going on, and I'm sure it happens all over the place. I'm sure Wayne County has different views and different wings between the Pousts and the Butters or whatever the names of your commissioners are. I don't have all 92 counties memorized, but I got a number of them.
You guys had Mayor Snow elected though, which was like that was a shift.
There was not a strong Republican candidate.
No.
Of course, there was not a strong Libertarian. We won't go into that.
I followed that.
I never did get my guard signs. Guard for mayor. I don't know what happened. Lost in the mail.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We're trying to collect Like we talked about in the Courier Times how our vision for the show was to get people running for local office or people that have been elected into local office to come in and feel like this platform is respected enough for them to come on and share their ideas or share how to fix some of the issues that we're doing, like just how we did starting out with Clay and just how we did with Darrin and a couple of other people that we have coming up. And we want to start collecting the yard signs, and like a big thing for us is like making an entire wall in the studio.
Oh, nice!
Of our candidates that have been on, signs. Hell, everybody in this room has run for office except for Dakota. So Dakota Davis, 2018,
It's coming.
Not 2018.
Oh, we have
2020.
Maybe 2020.
We'll see.
2020.
You'll see.
18,
18, 19, and 20. Let's go.
I've pretty much made up my mind. I might do 19. It would be for city council,
Sure.
not mayor.
We're building name ID, Dakota.
I'm not going to do a mayoral race.
There's already an 18-year-old mayor in Lebanon.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know.
Are you
that.
serious?
Yeah.
He's going to be like Icetown?
Yeah. He's totally Lebanon's going to be Icetown. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, my God, that's awesome. That is so funny.
Listen, man. It's either you or Tanner Purdue. It's up to you who wants to run for mayor, but it's your call.
Is
It's up to
Jeremiah
you.
Morrell? Are we going to see that anytime soon?
Well, I'm sure I'll run for something,
Yeah,
but like
something.
I pointed out earlier on the house tour, Mark, if you look out my door,
Did you say I could run for mayor? Huh?
as long as Dakota doesn't stand in his way, I think it's probably happening. It's really Dakota to stop.
Yeah.
Are you going to have a heated mayoral race here in Newcastle? What's the? Is that
Maybe.
happening? Is it going to? I don't.
Not
I don't
right
follow.
now. But,
Well,
I mean, there's
2019.
potential for
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Currently, we have a Democrat, which is like there are so many people
Wow.
on these pages
Well,
that
no,
I'm on.
they've had one Republican mayor in Newcastle since like the 50s.
Before this one. Before
Mayor
Greg
Small was the
Mayor
only.
Small.
Yeah, he was the Republican mayor. But other than that, it's been Democrats.
And back to your
This is a UAW town, a
back to
Chrysler
your
town.
party, issue there. And one thing that really helped Mayor Small out was there was a faction of the Democrats that split off.
Of course.
And they actually created Democrats for Small, I believe it was. So he pulled a lot of Democrat
Small
votes.
faction, so to say.
A small faction of them, yes, yeah. But on your party comment too, one thing that I was going to say, when you're talking about the divisions and things like that, one thing that I've really seen lately, and you can see it. Obviously, I see it locally, being involved locally, but you can see it at the state level and even the federal level. Is the world has changed. Culture has begun to change. Our fiscal health has changed dramatically, and yet we still have people at all levels, because they've been attached to a certain party that wins votes, straight ticket voting, things like that. We know how to play the game, and they continue to be voted in. They continue to be voted in. They continue to be voted in. They stay the same. Their philosophy stays the same, but everything around them changes. And so the everyday people that are having to live in this world,
In the oppression.
they look at it and say, well, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just do that? How come this is happening? I mean, they have common sense ideas because they're living in it. But then to present it and to actually get something changed is very difficult, because you have so many people stuck in an ideology that does not work anymore.
And you find
one
yourself
of those-
when you
what's
do
that?
get elected, you find yourself in the minority on the short end.
Yeah, I've
of
been in the short end many times, and so just like the debt ceiling, just like Henry County budget issues. Hey, let's just raise the debt ceiling. Let's just go into more debt. And guess what? If we can't pay for it, let's just print more money while we're at it.
Well, that's the luxury the federal
That's an
government
easy
has.
solution.
Henry County and the state of Indiana have to go to go to banks and actually borrow the money.
That's true.
You have to at least be honest about the debt that you have. All right. Well, we are at the point of the show where we probably ought to start thinking about final thoughts. Mark, this is your chance to stand on your soapbox. I'm sure you brought one.
Yes.
You have an issue, a gripe. If you need 10 minutes on the Garner files, Whatever.
Garner Files.
The Rockford Files.
Garner Files was Rockford's, or was James Garner's biography.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 3-time pace car driver of the Indy 500.
Wow,
Another reason why Mark and I are kindred spirits is we'll exchange old pictures of Jim Rockford from 40 years ago.
Yes.
It's just, Mark is a character. Unfortunately, you were born 30 years too late.
You think so?
At least. Maybe 40 years too late.
Are we the same age? Because this is something.
We're very
maybe
close.
this could be my soapbox even because you were born in what year?
83.
I'm older than you.
Are you?
Barely.
You look at that receding higher line.
I feel it too.
Yeah.
I was born in November of 82.
See, you are the oldest millennial. I've always said that I'm the oldest millennial on Earth, but 82 is the year, right? 81 or 82, yeah.
know.
You're like the first millennial.
I continually realize how old I am.
That
Yeah.
doesn't even seem right because
How
that
old are
means
you? I don't know anyone here.
42.
You're 42. Well, you,
Born in 75.
you don't look it.
You want to know what's
thank
wild? My dad's 45.
Now, how old are you?
Wow.
He's 21.
Really?
He's a child.
I'm the youngest.
Wow.
I'm the youngest millennial.
Yeah, Dakota and I are like we totally sandwich the generation.
See how
So you
how
were
odd
born
is
in
that?
'96.
Yep.
Like I have some shirts from '96.
I was the first baby of the new year of 1996 in the state of Indiana.
Really?
Yep, that's true.
Congratulations.
I was born at
Wow.
12:42 a.m.
And you're
January
part
1st.
Jewish.
And
10%?
And
Wow.
I'm a Middle Eastern Jew.
Wow.
Closest thing to Jesus that you got, Mark.
Wow, that's amazing. I did feel your greatness kind of coming across the table here.
I wasn't born in a manger though.
Were you born at Henry County Hospital?
Correct.
I know where I was going with this. So
Please
we're the
continue.
same age. You're just a hair younger than me.
That's all right.
And I'm at that age now. You being 42, maybe you could
Yes.
relate to this.
Okay.
I'm 34, going on 35. So I'm at that age where I'm taking stock now of where other people are and where I'm at. This is a beautiful house, so now I resent you. This is a beautiful. You have a pool. You have two. This is really nice because I bought my house as my starter home that I still live in. And
Right.
At the time when I bought it in my 20s, I'm like, I got a house now. Now at 35.
Well, this is
Every
my
time I go somewhere, I eyeball the place, and
Oh my God, is this going to be me?
this is
my
this
starter
gonna be
house.
you.
This is
your
my
starter
starter
This
house.
is really nice.
I lived in 2 apartments.
Wow.
I've
Yeah.
moved 3 times in my adult life. I moved out of my parents' house into a place, Jamestown Village Apartments, across the way here in Newcastle, just north of the Walmart. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
then I moved to a small in this neighborhood in White Estates. I moved to a small apartment over there, and then I moved to this place on the north side of White Estates.
He's moved 3 times and had the same mailman.
That's what I say. She would say
Really?
it's
Wow.
always the same mail carrier. I've never changed my. We've had a long relationship. It's gone
Well,
great.
that's good.
Yeah, I've had her since back in the day when Netflix delivered DVDs. I mean, we go way back.
my.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Did you deliver Netflix DVDs?
Well, I ordered Netflix DVDs.
you old man, you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So yeah, I just take stock of that now, and I'm the last cowboy. I'm the last person that I know of approaching mid-30s, still living in the starter home.
but it looks
This
very
one-
nice. I've been watching on Facebook. You put a new siding
Yeah.
up on it.
It's a nice house. I shouldn't gripe, but this is nicer. So yeah,
Well, that's
now-
very.
This is a
very financially wise of you.
well, I live a
Possibly.
block from work, so
Yeah, so
it's really handy.
right.
Yeah,
Saves
ride
on
my
gas,
bike.
too.
Yeah, this is the first time I've driven in over a week. If this is my
gosh.
soapbox, it's a
Did
pretty
you have to
soapbox.
psych
You ride
yourself
your-
up?
I did. I did really get.
Do you ride your bike to work?
Dakota will ride his Huffy from his
Really?
home
I
about
ride
2
my
miles
bike,
north,
yeah.
Really?
and he works in my neighborhood. His building is just.
Oh, so you ride your bike to work?
So he'll drive by my
Yeah.
house at 6 in the morning, take a picture, and put it in group chat.
Nice.
It's about 3.5 miles away though.
Oh, that's a decent ride.
It is
Oh,
not
mine.
3.5 miles.
From my house to my job, it is.
You are drunk. No.
I swear, I've driven it out before.
Absolutely
My
not.
bike has a speedometer and an odometer
It's
on it.
calibrated
Really?
incorrectly.
Oh,
It's crazy.
gosh, Jer.
There's no way. There's no way.
Very
3.5 miles.
Jeremiah's very ass-beat tonight.
You're crazy. Okay, here, let me prove him wrong. This is going to be very quick.
Okay.
Do you know that county roads in Indiana are laid out in a grid system
Yes, I do know.
by the number of miles?
Yeah, I know that.
So our base road in Henry County is Highway 36.
Yep.
Or 38 rather.
Yep.
And then each county road is 100, 200, 300, and 100 means a mile, 200 means 2 miles, 300 means 3 miles. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So your place of operation is on County Road 300.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You live south of Base Road.
Yes.
Yes. And you follow our main street, the main drag, almost the entire way. You vary by a couple hundred feet.
See, a lot of times though, I go on 103 instead.
Well, if you take a skew, that's we're talking as a crow flies, or as a reasonable person would do.
And as you go, well, no, it's a better ride for me because it's not so hilly. So I take that way.
So it is 3 miles.
That's what's 3 miles.
Yeah.
Because as you go up,
if you choose to drive in circles to get there, that's on you. But it's
a lot
2 miles
easier
tops.
on the legs. It takes longer, but man,
I know that they have
hills on Main
installed
Street
those
are
little
ridiculous.
those people with Japanese hats on the road. Those are
Yeah.
the bike lanes. You need to observe those rules.
I do observe
Don't get a
those
ticket.
rules, but people in this town do not observe the 3-foot rule at all. Like I will be driving down the road on my bike, and I have a little red strobe light that goes on the back of it, right? Like whoop, 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 whoop. And people just fly by me, and I can like feel the wind, and it's like wrestles my bike, and I'm like, oh my!
I feel
God.
your pain. I only go
pretty
2
scary.
blocks, and people do that.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And I get self-righteous, too. If I'm driving and there's a bike in front of me, I get kind of pissed. But when I'm
Yeah,
on my
me
bike,
too.
I'm like, hey, come on now, slow down.
You're
Yeah, I'm like,
inconveniencing.
hey, get on the sidewalk, you jerk! And then I do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I'm a hypocrite.
It's all a matter of
Same here.
what seat you're sitting in, right?
That's correct.
All right. So, any other final thoughts, or you just want to notice that I have?
You have a nice house.
When you look
This
from the
is
street, it
nice.
looks like a ranch. People don't realize it.
Yeah.
Come inside and they go, "Oh, there's a staircase." I had no idea.
It is a very cool staircase.
It
too.
is.
Really? I haven't
Yeah.
seen the staircase yet.
Oh, you
We came
will.
in through the garage. Did we come in through the garage?
I came in through the front
No,
door.
you
I didn't
you
look.
just-
I
you just
wasn't
didn't look.
looking.
How
Yeah.
did you
No.
not? How did you
Yeah.
not notice
I didn't
the
look.
entryway? It's like
Not observant.
I was
a very
staring at you
grand
two
entryway.
fine
It's got
young
a-
men.
He was overwhelmed by the equipment on the table.
it's a
Overwhelmed by
saw the
Jeremiah's
size.
equipment.
Saw the size of the board.
Yeah.
We have no problem in that area.
very blessed. Hashtag
It's
blessed.
the greatest.
Yeah.
It has a Trump 2016 sticker.
It's got a Chris Spangle Mad magazine and "My Vote, My Voice"
Why is the Trump sticker on there?
because
Why
it's
is-
a part. It's great.
There's one person
Trump.
in this room right now that voted for Trump. I'm assuming. Did you vote for Trump, Mark?
I did not vote for
Okay,
Trump.
one
Wow.
person.
One person. So now, okay, I'll let this
Okay.
be my.
All right, here-
I'll waste a little time. So
you go.
are you? Do you classify? I have 2 types of people in my mind:
Okay.
Trump voter or Trump supporter. What do you consider?
Oh, boy,
yourself?
this is
'Cause
controversial.
Here's I'm going to skirt the line here because I think Trump voters are smart because they say, "I don't like Hillary. Screw it. We're going to blow up the government and start over." Trump supporters, I don't think are very bright.
I'm going to ask the
Yeah.
I
Republican
think now
county
right,
chair
because
to
I
put
don't
his
think you
earmuffs on
completely
at this
support
time.
Trump, right?
Yeah.
You voted for Trump because you're like
I
blow up the
voted-
government.
I voted for Trump when it came down to 2 choices. I did not vote for Trump in the primary.
There were 3 choices on my ballot.
Well, yes.
4
I am
choices.
sorry. I forgot who I was with.
Yeah.
Yes.
4 choices.
Yes.
there was
I didn't dig.
there was same and samer and Johnson and write-in on my ballot. I don't know what you saw.
I didn't dig Johnson. I didn't. Like the first time around,
Yeah, I'm going to be honest.
I thought
didn't
he
either.
was better than the second time around. Like the second,
He made
the
a
first
fool.
time around. I'm like, okay, but the second. Sorry, I'm leaning. The second time around,
Yeah.
I was like, no. However, there was
Jill Stein.
Bill Weld.
but the guy you mentioned earlier that ran in Libertarian
Austin Peterson
Austin Peterson.
primary.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call it a primary, but basically,
sought the nomination.
Okay, yeah,
He is now a hardcore Republican.
Yeah, well-
I just saw on his Facebook
Yeah,
page.
he switched.
Yeah,
He
he
just
was
did a
somebody that I
hashtag-
thought I could have voted for.
Yeah,
honestly.
he just did a hashtag Make America Great Again.
No,
I'm like, yeah.
Okay, that's taking it too
Austin.
far. But I
What
can
are you
see
doing?
where
Well,
they
we
switched to a major party.
We do want to make America great again. However,
When was
But that's been
when was
tainted now.
America great?
when you
like,
say that,
I feel,
right? When you say that, right?
I feel like America's
During the
pretty
Cleveland
great right
administration.
now. Like my life's pretty good.
Oh well, there's no doubt.
Cleveland
America's-
won. Cleveland
America's
2 sucked.
still. I mean, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. It's just frustrating when you know it could be better. I mean, we're headed down an unsustainable path. But anyways, to answer your question, yeah, I voted for him. Yeah, over Hillary for sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't with Johnson, so I did vote for him, but
So
I
do
did
you-
not vote for him in the primary.
Do you think Trump? Are you hoping the outcome is Trump is so ridiculous that the Republican Party will recalibrate?
No, actually, and this is my.
If the Republicans can just get a bigger majority in the Congress, that's what they need.
Well, that's what they need. If they had,
Even though they have the
majority-
biggest majority they've ever had.
If they had a majority,
If
they
we
could
can
get
just
something
win the
done.
next election. If we can just win the next election, that's
It
all we
seems to
really
me,
need.
though, that
See,
now,
this is the occasion where we need video, so that everybody could see Clay's facial expression whenever he just did that.
Squirming.
because I like to see the Republicans pandering now to show that they are not like Trump. So John Kasich, hey, welcome, come to my state. Well, you know, I
Or
like
Mitch,
seeing
or
that.
Mitch Daniels, the former governor of Indiana, saying DACA is awful, or the Trump plan to throw out these kids that were kidnapped as children, brought to America. They have jobs, they're in school, they're contributing to society, and we're going to, just to make ourselves feel better, toss them out. Those people.
Here's this describes me probably more just using elected officials.
Yeah.
Okay, Rand Paul,
Thomas
Ted
Massey.
Cruz, Ben
Well,
Sass.
Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer, though.
These are
He is the Zodiac.
These are some guys though that I could hang with. You know what I mean? That
Basketball circle.
Thomas.
I know. I
is,
hear you. I was
is-
there.
I was too.
I said the prayer at that event.
He did.
Actually.
You
Is
were on
Justin,
stage.
Yeah.
Justin
The
Amash on
ring.
that list?
What's that?
Justin Amash, the congressman of Michigan.
There's Justin
Thomas
Amash.
Massey.
Yeah. So right.
Sassy with Massey.
These are some guys that I
Sassy
would really
man.
like to
Did you get
see
Right.
be able to get something done.
Yeah.
You know, but again,
I can see that.
here you have Rand Paul speaking some common sense on this debt ceiling and budget process, and it
Ignore.
doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's aggravating. It's very aggravating because that's common sense.
You think it's rough being one of 7? Try being one of 100.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All you can do is just speak your piece, and if they
just-
ignore you, they
right.
ignore you.
You just do your thing.
But you do
just
your part.
thing. Well, anyways, I know we're trying to end this podcast, but I've heard Rand.
I was curious. I asked
Yeah.
Trump supporters, or I asked Trump voters that, or
Yeah.
Republicans that a lot, because I,
Yeah.
of course, can't agree with Trump. The Clinton people turned into bullies, I think,
Right,
because they
right.
got very self-righteous. So if you're voting for Johnson, well, that's just a vote for Trump. Johnson's ridiculous. I
Right.
mean, but Johnson, look
Right.
at Trump. Trump's ridiculous.
and it went that way on both sides too,
Yeah.
because people said
Completely
if you
did.
vote for Johnson, you
Quit
vote.
stealing votes, Mark.
You know, I should.
But
well, I
anyways.
will. But then I'll say this because I jump to all sides. The libertarians need to streamline their messaging a bit.
After
mean,
after,
it
There needs to be centrally planned liberty. I agree.
Yeah.
after the election,
Mandatory
I
freedom.
have a feeling we could do 2 podcasts, so we could split this up.
So
After-
that's the
'cause
end of
now-
my
now
soapbox
it's getting
derailing
good.
everyone.
All right.
after the election, somebody knocked off my side view mirror.
Did you tag him Kronk on Concerned Citizens of Henry County?
I did not.
I'm going to jump on these groups, by the way, because this is great.
Oh my gosh, they're so
Wow.
funny.
The
They're-
Richmond ones
they're
are,
the
are
best.
pretty.
Yeah. Make sure you leave a positive review of our local Lee's Chicken. When,
Well,
you know.
I will say that too. Richmond had the same thing on all these groups. Look at this meal I got at McDonald's. Look at this. Look at that. Look at it. So I decided to make a whole group about that. It's called Disappointing Photos of Fast Food in Richmond.
Yes,
Very
yes,
creative.
that is a
So
great
it's-
idea.
The
Very
group is
creative.
just dedicated, so that way it filters it out of the other groups. So
Oh
get
my
bored. Disappointing
gosh.
Photos of Fast Food Richmond is the name
I'm
of the
starting
group.
it for Newcastle.
Yes, and
I'm
it's
starting
just
it.
photos.
I would join that group.
Yes.
I will join that
Oh,
group.
that is a
great.
brilliant idea,
And
Mark.
I do have
Thank
a few
you for that.
rules.
he is
in
the
group.
genius. He is the.
Some of the rules are no photos of turkey wraps. I just don't want to see that crap. Okay. And on Wednesdays only, if you post a photo of fast food, a quote from Kurt Vonnegut must accompany it. That's it. Those are the 2 rules.
Kurt Vonnegut reference. Good. A1 effort on that one.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad.
Man. Have you had your picture taken by the Vonnegut display down on Mass Ave in Indy?
No.
There's a big.
I've seen it. Yeah, Pam
Yeah.
Bliss did that.
Yeah.
She did a lot of. She does all the murals around Richmond too.
You need to go down and get that one. Get your selfie with
Yeah.
Vonnegut.
Right.
I parked there
I
to
think-
get pizza nearby, but
I think it's,
Bazbos.
Is it my turn for
Yeah.
final thoughts now?
Well, normally we go to Clay. You're
Oh,
the
I thought
most.
that-
You're
I-
the second most senior.
I'm sorry, I thought that Clay had already gone.
No.
Okay.
No, this is
No,
Clay's turn.
I just went on a rant to answer Mark's
Oh,
question.
okay.
Well, this is
Yes.
the way Mark started his final thoughts. You
Yeah.
you took 5 minutes of his time, and then Clay took 10 minutes of his time.
I was
And
asking everyone. My
Yeah.
final thoughts were everyone else's thoughts
nasty.
Yes.
compared to mine.
It's very welcome.
I'm hoping the. I mean, honestly, I'm hoping the best for Trump. I mean, I cringe sometimes at some of the things he does and says. Yeah, I don't agree with the maneuvers of the past couple of days.
What do you agree
But
with?
I just, yeah.
The R
Well-
beside his name.
Yes. No, he is disrupting the system. I agree. Don't get me started.
All right.
I agree with
Like-
some of the, I agree
Like
with
Clay's Facebook page, Dad
some
Bod
of-
40s.
Yeah, right. Dad
And,
Dad Bod 40s exactly.
MVP
Exactly.
Barbershop, which is a huge sponsor of our podcast.
The official barbershop.
Official
of-
barbershop.
The official barbershop, MVP Barbershop, actually paid for all of the foam to go onto the walls into
Fantastic.
the new studio, which is huge for us.
I'm
It's
getting a little
really
shaggy.
big
I'll
deal.
be in tomorrow as long as I get back in a reasonable time from the great state of Ohio visiting John Kasich's people. I'll be by.
Sounds disgusting.
I'm sure I'll be in line. Clay is so overworked in there. There's usually about 6 kids ahead of me and 4 behind me.
I feel it.
It's
John
crazy.
Kasich.
Mark, how do we follow you on social media? Do you want to be followed? Do you want to be
Sure.
left alone?
Yeah. Just look me up on Facebook, Twitter. I don't tweet that. Facebook and Instagram mainly. Yeah.
All right.
That's what I do.
Are you on the Snapchats?
No.
No,
No.
of course
not.
not.
I'm too old for Snapchat.
Really?
I can't get on. Wait, is that the thing where you put the bunny ears on your...
You can.
Nah.
Mostly I use it when I'm on long road trips to explain to people that I'm in this remote place and you should pay attention.
Really?
Snapchat's a lot of fun.
Snapchat's a lot
Jeremiah
of
is
fun.
snapping a lot.
It depends.
He does snap.
It
I
depends
just
on
can't
the
get
day.
into it.
Jeremiah's Snapchats are so sad, though.
Really?
They are the
Are they
saddest
sad?
Snapchats.
I might get onto the Snapchat.
Sometimes I'll sing, and I don't sing
Really?
well.
It's-
But sometimes I'll sing.
I feel so bad. I'm like, Jeremiah, do you need me to come over tonight?
I do. Yes, they're normally a plea for help.
Do you
Most-
need a friend?
I do.
One thing I
Look
do
that
want to
up.
say in final thoughts, for everyone that's still listening, then
Thank
made
you.
it this far, it's a great thing. But I'm also on the board of an organization called Victory Lane Camp, and we work with families that have children with disabilities. And we have a chili cook-off coming up on Saturday, September 30th. It'll be at the Gathering in Louisville, Indiana.
Beautiful
from
Louisville,
4
Indiana.
p.m. to 7
Katie
p.m.
Poff and her whole family run the gathering.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of celebrity
Well,
judges. that are gonna be
we
there.
have asked the official founders of the Boss Hog of Liberty, Jeremiah Morrell and Dakota Davis, to come and be special guest judges at our chili cook-off. So
Oh.
I will.
I am so excited.
I will
for
put
this.
it on the record that I'm from New York State originally, and pasta does not belong in chili.
Oh my gosh, you are so incorrect.
I will put that
Okay.
out there.
Here's
I agree with you.
Wow.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me tell
We're
you.
not.
why-
We're not poor. We don't have to cut it with
I have-
pasta. It's
I
not
have a-
spaghetti.
I disagree.
We're not
with-
in Cincinnati.
I disagree with you more on this subject than what I disagreed with Darrin on the municipal power subject.
oh, this is bad.
This could get ugly.
This
Do you
is
realize how much I love pasta in my chili?
bad. This is episode
Anytime.
21.
Yeah. Okay. Tune in next week for listening to me rant about how good pasta is in chili. And if you're not putting pasta in your chili, then you are doing everything wrong, and you need to reassess anything else
This
that
is
you're doing
good
in your life.
preparation
Yeah.
for the chili.
I don't know.
This is this is very very controversial.
If you want to win the chili cook-off in Louisville at the Gathering, you best be putting some macaroni noodles in that.
Well, this could get real interesting too because you two are combined as one judge.
We're one.
because we kind of felt
Oh.
like
Oh.
it needed both of you to equal
So
one vote.
I'm going to be marking these as a 10, and Jeremiah's going to be putting a 2.
Remember, I'm bigger.
This could get interesting.
All right. Well, very good. Thank
And
you,
you
Clay.
could go to victorylanecamp.com.
Is this the old Kenny Irwin camp? Is that the
No, actually, that's a big misconception.
Yeah.
Because we do hold a camp
over there?
at
Oh,
Cornerstone
All right.
Campground, which
It's-
used to be the Kenny Irwin Campground.
Gypsy's Paradise, also
But-
known as Kenny Irwin,
There you
also known
go.
as Cornerstone. Yes.
That's a great camp.
But Victory Lane Camp is it's an organization we function 12 months a year, all
Okay.
year round. We have events about once a month for these families and for these children, and then the camps are very very well thought out. There's therapy there.
Cool.
It's a really 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 good organization. So
Yeah, that's
victorylanecamp.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Clay. Dakota, final thoughts.
See, I had final thoughts earlier whenever I thought it was my turn, but now I really don't have any. Like,
His final thought was about putting some pasta in.
He was
there.
good
wait.
until
Wait
pasta
a
came
second.
along.
I know what my final thoughts are now. This morning I was like deathly ill and couldn't make it to work this morning. And per union contract, we can't take half days. So I got feeling better about 12:30. I won a raffle from one of the Henry County groups that I'm in. I seriously won a raffle.
Henry County thoughts. Thank you.
From the group, from citizens of Henry County. I won like
So it paid to be.
Yeah.
part of those
I won
groups.
like 6 1-hour gun range sessions at the new VRA.
Oh,
Dude,
congratulations.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so there is a payoff to all this this entertainment that
Are you taking the crew?
see, I haven't made up my mind. Because
Content,
like,
Dakota.
There's so there's so many things I need to do.
I've got
like,
the 357 Magnum ready to
That
go,
is
man.
very-
There's
I mean,
different guns that I need to sight in to
Facebook
get ready.
Live.
To get ready for
you
hunting
know.
season, I need to sight in my crossbow, and I'm not sure they're going to let me do that there. It's just
We can
this whole big
sight
thing.
in your crossbow at my brother's place, but
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do that. But you need to teach me how to shoot your gun before we go squirrel hunting. Before
Yes,
snow falls.
We do need to
That
do
needs
that
to happen.
because
He promised me he was going to take me Labor Day weekend. I had to spend it with Clay, and now the promise is squirrel hunting, which is an empty promise, and I know this now.
Yeah.
But I'll keep telling him. But I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He has to prove me wrong.
has a
Can I make a confession?
Yes.
what's that?
I've never shot a gun in my life.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my parents were cops.
Wow.
They shot people all the time.
They shot. Yeah, they love to shoot people. It was
So Mark's going to come with us
I've
whenever
never
we
shot
shoot,
a gun. I'm
whenever
not,
we
I'm not
sight in
anti-gun.
the,
I'm not pro-gun. It's kind of
22s.
like redheads, just not into it. You know?
Well, I was going to say, I know somebody that got some free shooting time at the
Yeah.
new shoot.
Yeah.
So.
We'll have to do that. I'll let you shoot my little
It's on my bucket
380,
list. I want to shoot
My little
something.
Ruger LCP. It's a good gun.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Very high
I hear
quality.
those are good little guns.
But,
So follow you a Tokad Savad on the
at a Tokad Savad on the old Twitter, and look me up at Dakota Davis. on
buy
Facebook.
his Chevy Sonic on the interwebs.
Please buy my Chevy Sonic. It's getting to the point to where I'm ready to take it to.
Don't take it to CarMax.
I'm going to take it to CarMax.
That is not the official dealer of Boss Hog Liberty Podcast.
I got to. I don't have any options at this point.
No, you do.
They do that We Be Sadibo or whatever. You know what I'm talking
Four
about?
words for you: auto and RV trade, or no, Indiana Auto and RV.
I'm on there.
It's just not
The
working.
magazine,
it's
the
been-
hard copy magazine.
I'm
I
not-
know,
okay,
straight
I'm
up
not- I'm not
1996,
in
the
the
year you were
magazine.
born, by the way.
The free trader.
And you put it in there. It costs about $20, but I've
already
always sold
spent-
vehicles in there.
I
Always.
spent like $50
Always.
on the Auto Trader website.
No, Auto Trader doesn't work. Craigslist and Indiana Auto and RV.
He's like an IT guy. That will never work. You've done it wrong.
Never worked.
Yeah.
You've done
Do
it
it
wrong.
my way.
That is
gotta
Harry.
do it my way. I
Thank you
sold-
so much,
yeah.
Harry. I just spent $500 on a brand new ThinkPad laptop that I'm like super stoked about, and I showed it to Harry Price, and he's like, "You paid $500 for that POS?" I'm like, "Thank you, Harry."
So okay. My final thoughts. I am an abusive co-host. Dakota didn't see me for a week and a half. He was working on the show notes. I said, hey, stick it in the Google Drive for me so we can share it. We can have links. We don't have to print all this stuff out, because he's been like a baby boomer to me and trying to print out things and give them to us at the last minute, and it's been terrible.
I
It's been
said,
terrible.
"What you got against paper, Jer?"
I don't know.
What's
You want me
so
to
bad
read?
about
You
it?
want me to read these articles, and you give me 3 minutes to skim through them, and then I don't know what they are. I said, give them to us a day ahead of time.
Like an hour highlighting everybody's copies last
Right.
week.
Highlighting them and then giving them to us 2 seconds before we go on the show. What happens, Clay?
You read really, really fast.
Yeah. Process.
It's like little-
processes. Say hello to
words.
the guests that nobody's met real quick. We're going to work through that, and then we're going to read this stuff. It just doesn't work.
Is this
So-
why you told me not to stroke him
Yes.
on his
Yes.
on his
because
show prep?
This is this is my final thoughts. Is I've put up with this oppression for 4 weeks now, Clay. He tries to fence us in, to box us in, and keep us on track. And I hope you've learned your lesson.
I have not. It's going to continue to be this way, Jeremiah.
So
whether you like it or not.
So we have the show notes, and so I said you need to have them and the Google Drive for us to get to them ahead of time, so we can review them, look at them,
I think
agree.
it's going to be so much more annoying though, because people are going to be trying to get on their freaking phones and do it. And if there
No, we
is
can
a
print
link,
them.
It's going to be the exact same way
We can
because
print
if they
them.
click a link, then they're going to be trying to read the link on their phone instead and wait for your Wi-Fi or my Wi-Fi to load it
So-
instead of just having it in front of them.
I want it
Your
for ahead of
argument
time.
is invalid, sir.
Easy. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to fix this one thing. I'm
Hey.
not trying to nationalize the electric grid here.
Darrin Jacobs learned what happens when you walk in his territory.
Oh, it's ugly. So I said, hey, we need to have a Google Drive. He said, oh, I can't do that because I can't access it there, and I'm not doing it on my phone. And I said, well, let's go buy you a $100 computer because I literally this ThinkPad I use, it's got 3 or 4 good years of life left. $100 on eBay, $120. I said, let's just buy one of those and it'll be fine. So then, without asking any further questions, within 3 hours, I bought a laptop.
Except I customize it, though.
Yes.
It's actually really nice.
I'm sure it's fantastic. It's overkill for what I wanted. I thought you needed to have for this application, but of
Yeah,
course,
but I also
like
wanted
any
it-
time you decide you need it for other stuff, and
I
the
need
price
it
tag
to
grows.
make I need it for this. I need it for social media. I need it to make dank memes, and I need it to
Dank memes.
Yep.
Wow.
And I also need it, for any future schoolwork.
for higher education.
Yeah, because you need that nowadays.
So we'll give the shout out to Dakota. He, I'm very convincing as a salesman. At 10 o'clock in the morning, I freaked out and said, "Hey, you need to do this." And by
I
by
just
6
bought the
o'clock, you bought a laptop.
I just bought the laptop so that it would be easier for me to make these paper copy show notes.
I don't mind the paper copies being here. It's the ahead of time we could have links in there and work on it and look at it and make some edits. Instead, we get we get one PDF.
Usually,
to us
I don't
the
even
last minute.
Usually, I don't even look at the links or the articles until the day of.
We've come a long way, though, baby. The first couple
Did you
times
just
we
call
wrote
me baby?
as
I believe that
as the show, we've come a long way because we were doing the first couple of these on any sort of paper plate I could come across in the house or the back of an envelope.
Yeah, that's true.
We've come a long way.
All right, Jeremiah, I think it's your time for your final thoughts. We have presents to wrap.
We do. We have so much work to do. We have once again, if you hear this now, Saturday night, I guess on 9/9, the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast is hosting our dear leader's birthday party, Chris Spangle. It'll be at my home. $50 contribution towards the studio costs. You make that contribution on the GoFundMe
And,
page
Tanner Purdue.
and message me. We will make sure that you have a personal assistant for the evening. We'll make you drinks. I will open up the liquor cabinet, and you will drink on us.
It'll be
$50
Tanner
or
Purdue.
more.
We have garnered a total of $210 in donations
Excellent.
from
From the general public. And then we do have an event to promote on September 11th, that Monday night, Morty's Comedy Joint in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, that's great.
7 p.m.
We're gonna be on stage
We Are
for that.
Libertarians and the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast are going to be on stage, interviewed, talking, and doing a little mini podcast as a part of the We Are Libertarians show. Hopefully we got Clay coming. I know Dakota will be there. I'll be there. Sarah
I'm
Potter
so
will be,
nervous.
and Audrey Joe PV, we hope she'll make it as well.
Yeah, Audrey will be there.
All right. So we'll mount up in the Tahoe and have a
We'll be in the
great
Tahoe.
ride.
Yep. Or we could take the minivan.
Oh, what minivan?
Audrey.
Audrey's? You have room for 7?
7.
I don't know.
Why do we need 7?
We could have all kinds of. We could have tourists. We don't know.
Oh my gosh.
If somebody makes that $50 contribution, they get to ride over there with us as well if they're coming from the greater Henry County area.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
$200, I'll loan you my truck.
Either of them.
Either
The
of
one with the leak or the cool one.
the cool
Oh
one.
my gosh, you
Yeah.
give me $200
Yeah.
to do this studio. You give me $7,000 for this studio, I will give you my car.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Permanently.
Wow.
If you give $6,000 towards the studio, you will walk away with a new studio and a 2003 GMC Sierra SLT.
Oh, see, now he's just lying because a minute ago it was $5,700.
Well, that covers the studio costs.
Studio, yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing it for free.
I'm taking it back.
All right, you can follow me, Jeremiah at bosshogliberty.com, Dakota at bosshogliberty.com. We appreciate the support. Like and subscribe on the iTunes. Please rate us. That helps show up in the feed for everybody. Really do appreciate everybody sharing. This has been a big couple weeks for us. Our ratings from episode 18 were the biggest we'd ever had, and that happened within a week. That show is already number 1. 19 is on track, and I'm sure 20 is going to be even better because we're going to get the Mark Brim bump. we look forward to seeing everybody next time. I think we've got a couple special guests lined up. The next 3 episodes are already programmed. They're going to be coming out weekly. Stay tuned and enjoy.
Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at wearelibertarians.com.